be kidding me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 34. Today is Tuesday, February 9th. Today we break down the Super Bowl.
The big game.
I talk a little bit about science, and then we're going to give our music reviews. So, Super Bowl happened on Sunday.
It did. Super Bowl Sunday.
I'm going to say what I said last week. It was a letdown, and I said it could be.
Yeah, it was
I'm
a big
on record
letdown.
saying that.
It was...
Because every time, like I said last week, every time we think it's going to be a great game, we get let
a shit
down.
show.
And someone actually mentioned this. I don't know where I heard it. Maybe it was at the Super Bowl party. But less than 10 people.
Everyone wore masks.
COVID friendly. I'm
COVID safe.
vaccinated. You know what I mean? So in our bubble. But the defenses play better in the Super Bowl. And that's why we keep getting these frustratingly boring Super Bowl games. Because an offense usually doesn't play better than they normally play. But the defense can always be better. And the defense is a hype.
Energy.
The defense is a hype energy. So
yes, energy.
Not every game, the defense is not always super, super hype. Yeah. But the Super Bowl, you're super hype. And if you're the side of the ball that needs to be hyped to play, the offense is always hype. Offenses are hype. They just play hyped. And they're more cocky and confident usually. And they're more seen, obviously. And so someone put it very well. And they were like, no, it's because defenses always come to play better in the Super Bowl. So then we get these boring ass Super Bowls where it's just defense. I mean, this wasn't even this was just a shutout, which was sad. And the only reason that it wasn't super, super boring is because the Mahomes, you know he can score. And so you're always hopeful that he'll pull something crazy. And he did. He did make some crazy plays.
And I want to say it wasn't all Mahomes' fault. His offensive line didn't do anything. There was one play where literally the whole defensive line was coming at him, all four guys. Not one person was blocked. His receivers, and this wasn't talked about a lot, sucked all day. God awful.
All passes.
They
None of
lost.
the rest of the team. Mahomes, I will actually say, was the best player on the team.
Yeah.
The rest of the team didn't even show up.
And it's not like he was missing passes. He didn't have time to throw. I mean, He made some incredible passes where that should have been called. The first drive of the game, I think it was, he had Tyreek Hill who was open. He catches it. It's right in his hands. It's a touchdown. He drops it. It was just Tampa Bay's day, It was Tampa Bay's day. Like you said, when you're in a game like this and your emotions are high, it's easier for the defense to use that emotion because on offense, you got to be even keeled. You got to be calm. You got to be able to focus. You got, especially quarterback, receiver. Defense, you can let it out. You can just fly around the field. So it's a lot easier for the defense to play more control. Also, the Buccaneers defense is a top 5 defense in my opinion this year.
I mean, they played great.
They put on tape the best way to beat Mahomes. If you have a good offensive line, you play 2 safeties back. You have to have good linebackers because the only way it works is if their linebackers are covered, Kelsey and your other receivers. But they had the best strategy. They had the best, like I said, way to beat them. So it's a recipe for other teams to do if they can pull it off.
Never bet against Tom, man. I'll never bet against him again.
Yeah.
Man, I've never really been a Brady hater. You get tired of seeing him win, but then I think I'm at the point where it's now it's just crazy. Good for him.
Yeah.
He's the literal GOAT, and no one can ever question that again.
I don't know if I knew this when I made my pick last week that both tackles for the Chiefs were going to be out. I don't know if I knew that. If I, looking back on it now, I would have definitely picked the Buccaneers because it wasn't talked about enough, I don't think. And their offensive line isn't great to begin with. It's good. It's not top 5. So if I would have known they were without their left tackle, who's one of the better left tackles in the league, I mean, that would have been a big factor in my decision.
Yeah, also I lost all my bets, all my prop bets because...
All the prop bets?
Yeah, because I put everything on the over. And everything was under, and I picked the Chiefs to win. I thought the Gatorade would be red because both teams are red. Like, that's an obvious choice. Freaking blue. I didn't even see it, okay? So I don't know if it was blue, but that's what they said.
Yeah.
But I lost all my bets, prop bets, squares. Didn't get enough points for square. Like, I mean, the Chiefs didn't even score a touchdown, so it's crazy.
It was top 3 worst Super Bowls for me in my lifetime. This one, the Broncos, where they got totally blown out. And then the Rams,
I hated that one.
The Rams, Patriots, where it was like 10-6, was probably the worst.
The Rams, Patriots was the worst. The Denver one, I lost a lot of money, so that one haunts me to this day. Isn't that the one where they went for 2 points? And they didn't even they couldn't win, but they went for 2 points and they screwed me.
Yeah, I think so. And it was such a blowout, it didn't matter.
It screwed me. I remember. Never forget.
I mean, last takeaways, I think the Chiefs have a lot of work to do. I mean, they were exposed. Offensive line wasn't very good. Defense is not very good. And they're a team where if Mahomes isn't good, they're not very good. I mean, and you can see Tampa Bay, and you can say all through the playoffs, if Tom's not playing great, their team can step up and make plays, and the Chiefs can't.
That's the difference. Yeah, that's the
I think it would have been a way better game if the Bills made it, honestly, now. Like, looking back at it, like, the Bills would have been a much better game.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I don't know. We can say that now, but it could have been the same outcome.
Yeah. But yeah, we need to talk about, did Tom sell his soul, or does the TB12 actually work?
He sold his... I mean, it could be a little bit of both. He sold his soul, and he does TB12.
It's a combo drug.
Yeah. He sold his soul to get the secrets for TB12.
Yeah. So Belichick is just nothing now, and Tom is just taking over.
I mean, Belichick's pissed. He's like, I got to get back, man. I'm looking bad right now.
Yeah, he's in a bad light right now.
Yeah.
I would love to know his thoughts on this. And then the other thing is we need to talk about Andy Reid's mask.
Weird mask.
It was weird. It creeped me out. It looked like a beak.
A bird, yeah.
It was like this long, if you're watching the YouTube video. It was like extended with like a weird drawstring. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It creeped me out all game. I didn't like it. It was weird.
We need to give him a better mask.
It was uncomfortable. And poor Andy Reid. He's having a rough time as well. Okay, what else? Oh, we should talk about the halftime show.
Yes. I thought it was great.
You're in 2 camps. You either freaking hated it or you loved it. There was no like, it was good. I liked it. I loved it, I would say.
I don't know how you could hate it. I mean, unless you don't like The Weeknd.
It was very safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's what he's been doing all year. I mean, I thought it was a really cool performance.
It was a cool performance. Nothing crazy happened. No guests.
Yeah.
Someone said that he loves himself too much, so he didn't invite any guests.
But he doesn't have, like, his big songs there's no features on them. So who's he going to bring a guest on? What are they going to do? Like, his songs aren't dominated by features. So, I mean.
I agree. But yeah, I thought it was cool, like very clean. It wasn't like there was not too much theatrics, just enough.
Yeah.
Do we know what the masked people were representing?
Well, I think the whole thing was basically what he's been doing this whole time is like he started out, he fell in love with music, and then he blew up, and then he like pretty much came to Hollywood, he got into the scene, and then like the mask is him like getting plastic surgery like to fit in, because if you saw his latest music video, his face is like really like it's not real, real weird.
Yeah.
And it's like
I heard it was him like basically just not making fun of, but just showing like rebelling against Hollywood, basically.
Yeah, and I think it's probably a couple of meanings. It could be something about girls he's dated, or like there's probably a lot of meanings behind it. I think it's just I thought it was really good. I mean, like I said, I think the people with the mask with the face, I think that represents like people getting plastic surgery. And if you've been following him all year, he's been wearing the same damn red suit the whole time.
Yeah, I know he has. Yeah, he's been he hasn't changed. And I thought I thought it was good. And some people were saying, there were some arguments I saw, on the internet is bored, okay?
Interwebs.
So they're like, oh, the women performers had to do so much more than this guy. I'm like, because they chose to. Like, that's their energy. Like, that's their dance. Like, that's what they do. And the Weeknd has never claimed to be anything other than he's not. He's like, I'm dressed like this all the time. Yeah, so why did you think it would be any different?
He's like, I've been prepping all year for this. Like, what do you want him to do? Dance around like he's Michael Jackson or something? Like, or have like dancers around him? Like, that's just.
He sounded good. His voice sounded great.
Yeah, he sounded good. I don't really know how you could say it was a bad performance unless you don't like The Weeknd or his music. That's one thing. But it wasn't like he messed up or there was like glaring weaknesses. Right. It was a good performance. 8 out of 10. It wasn't crazy. I thought it was very unique, and it was true to him, which I like. So he didn't try to do anything different. He didn't try to be like anything other than him. So yeah, good show.
I agree. And the last thing, commercials. That's why everyone watches. If you're not a football fan, you're watching for commercials. So
they were good commercials.
They were solid. My favorite was the Shaggy one with the Cheetos.
Oh yeah.
And Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah,
that was funny. There was a couple funny ones. The Doritos one with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
KKK.
Was that the one where? Like... yeah, that's my favorite. That was my favorite when he was like a paper flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
Yeah. And then Bud
Drake from State Farm was up there too.
Drake from State Farm. That's right. Drake. I forgot about that one for a second. That was near the end. The other thing, what was I gonna say? Budweiser. They didn't have a commercial this year, with the Clydesdales and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they put all their money towards COVID vaccine and all that. But
they're like, we need people back at the bars drinking Budweiser.
Yeah. They're like, we're gonna put our money to the vaccine. No commercial this year because it's like $5 million for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But if you notice, there was a Bud Light commercial. Aren't they the same?
Budweiser thing? And Bud Light, yeah, Anheuser-Busch.
So they were I lost you. They were super smart. I'm sorry, I'm getting text messages. Just so popular. But so they were smart. They made this whole thing. We're gonna do the vaccine. We're a good company. But they're like, oh yeah, but like our off brands, we're still advertising them. So
yeah, but Budweiser Bud Light just Budweiser Light.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But they made it seem like they were having no beer commercials. Like, no.
Come on now. They had Post Malone. They paid Post Malone a lot of money for that.
Yeah. That was another good commercial. A lot of stars in that one.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's all I had for the breakdown of the Super Bowl. Not much you can say.
Yeah. I mean,
Tampa Bay. And he's coming back, man. He wants another one.
He might get it. I mean, if they stay healthy, I don't see why they can't be back.
It's insane.
It's madness. It's crazy.
But that's all I can say, really. I can't really break anything else down.
Yeah, I mean, it was, if you watched the game, you saw what happened. It was just total domination. And football's over. We have no more football to talk about until next year.
Yeah, we're going to have to start bringing in some basketball talk in the beginning, maybe.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
I might have to start watching some games.
Yeah.
Well, you do have March Madness, right?
Yeah, we can talk about March Madness, yeah.
So that'll be upon us. Get back into the college scene.
Baseball's coming up.
Baseball coming back. And, yeah. Keep everyone updated.
NFL draft, too, coming up soon.
Yeah. Always fun. We're only without football for a few months.
We'll be okay.
Will we? I guess that means more science and more facts.
People actually might enjoy it more than that sports segment.
Because we're going to have to do more work.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to science, if that's cool with you.
Solid.
Okay, so this week in science. First thing is, all of last year and this year have been a lot of archaeological finds. And I don't know if that's because people are bored, so they're just digging stuff up. But scientists get bored too. An extremely rare mud mummy was found. And you never see mud mummies. So this was thought to be a cost alternative to the ones that you normally see, where all the royalty are wrapped up in resin and in the beautiful coffins. Turns out, you could have got a low-cost alternative if you were Poe. So.
Got just straight mud.
So they found one. They never seen one before. They found a mud mummy. So that's pretty cool. Another article I was reading, I have been doing this too during the science section, throwing you back to the past a little bit. Just some past facts. So I did that last time with the cat thing.
Past facts.
Because I think it's important to know history of science. And this was just blew my mind. I didn't know this. So radiation, we all know, is dangerous today and is really bad for you and can give you cancer.
Yes.
Well, back in the day, people didn't know that. And so when Marie Curie was around, she was the first one to basically show what radiation was and how to do x-rays. She invented all that, got the Nobel Prize, women power. And however, they still really didn't know at that time that it was super dangerous. And they were putting radiation in like drinks and pills, and people were taking radiation because they thought it was really good for them. Because it like made them feel alive and gave them all this energy and helping them lose weight. Yeah, bro, because you're getting cancer. Literally, your bones are disintegrating.
Yeah.
That's why. And so this guy, there's this story. It was literally, it was so crazy. I urge everyone to go look this up because I could not believe. Doctors were like, yeah, drink the radiation. And, you know, it was like, you know, it's like when cigarettes were cool. Like, yeah, smoke these cigs.
It's crazy
so
how,
cool.
yeah, yep.
And so this guy was taking radiation like every day, and he told his friends about it. He got his girlfriend to take take radiation.
You take
blah,
radiation.
blah.
You take radiation.
You get a bottle. You get a bottle. And then turns out all his teeth are falling out, and his jaw falls off.
It just falls out of his mouth.
And then he dies because his bones disintegrate.
Oh my god!
And then everyone, and then it's back like I think late 1800s. And so then everyone's like, all the doctors are like,
we might rethink this one.
So, you know, then they started checking it out. But that's just so crazy. People just going around taking radiation. You know how they put those heavy metal vests on you when you get an x-ray?
Yeah.
And that's like the teeniest bit of amount of radiation.
Exactly. That's interesting, man.
It was, I'm not really even explaining how not cool that it was to read that, because that's really sad, but like just so mind-blowingly interesting.
You thought science was bad right now, I think, man.
Yeah, you guys think we're arguing about facts now? Just imagine we're like, scientists are like, yeah, take radiation, it's fine. It makes you feel good.
It doesn't even
get
like
skinny.
It doesn't even make any sense though. Like radiation, it just sounds like. Did they call it radiation?
Well, to us, yeah, I think so. And there was probably like a cool name. I think they made like a cool name for it.
Yeah, because like even if radiation just sounds like it would be bad for you.
Yeah, but back then, no context, it's not bad.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
It'd be like us hearing some new word. It'd be us like hearing, I don't know, what's like a new word?
I don't know.
I don't know, like the first time you heard, I don't know, COVID or something, you know? You don't really know.
Yeah, I guess that's true, yeah.
It's hard to explain. But anyway.
I know what you're talking about.
So that happened in the past. Past science. That'll be a new section. And there was another story I wanted to talk about too. I didn't want to spend too much time on this, so maybe people can go look it up, or maybe I'll explain a little bit more next week. But the CPR doll that we all practice on when you learn CPR is based off a girl who drowned in the 1800s in the Seine River in Paris. It's based off her face.
Really? That's
yeah, creepy. And there's this long, convoluted story about how this happened. So I'm going to say that for next pod. Give the people something to look forward to. I'm sorry, I keep swiping our faces over. I'm messing up the video. And the last thing new in science, we had the first ever plant transplant in space. So at the NASA space station, they transplanted red Russian kale and extra dwarf pak choi.
All right.
So this has never been done before. They've never moved plants to space from Earth.
Yeah.
And they are surviving and they are growing, and it seems like they're doing better up there than they were here, and they think that's because of microgravity, and I don't really know why that is. But usually when you, on Earth, if you transplant, like if you move a plant to another area, sometimes it doesn't survive because you're basically like ripping its roots out of the ground. Yeah. But they were able to transplant in space, so that means getting more nutrients for people to stay in space longer and eventually live in space. That whole thing is happening. So that was pretty cool. So far successful.
Did you see, speaking of space, did you see that one commercial where it said you can pretty much sign up to go to space?
Isn't that what Elon Musk is trying to get everyone on?
I don't know. There was one commercial. It was like talking about going to space, and then it said visit this website if you're interested. I'm like, very bad.
I think it's probably for rich people. Like if you're rich, super rich, I think they're trying to make like trips to space for normal people. I think that's like Elon Musk's whole thing.
People can't even buy food. Yeah, other people going to the moon.
I know. And also like super dangerous. Those things explode all the time. I don't trust that.
Facts.
They got doors falling off and shit. the thing lands, it explodes.
I'm definitely not being the first one.
I'm good on Earth. Like unless we have like total chaos, which could happen, I'm fine here.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I have for science.
We didn't talk about this, but I have a dummy of the day. I'll make it quick. So a guy calls me up at work.
It sounds like a joke. So a guy calls me up.
It is. It's so stupid. It should be. He's like, I believe I helped him earlier in the day. I don't know if I rung him up or not. He goes, "Hey, how's it going? I'd like to talk to a manager." I'm like, "All right, I'm a manager. I can help you." And then he's like, "So I was checking my bank account and it said, you guys charged me $50." And he's like, "I only bought $20 worth of stuff." He's like, I've been trying to figure it out. I don't know what happened." He's like, "Why the hell did you guys charge me $50? And the first thing I thought, I was like, "Did you get cash back?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I got cash back. I'm sorry, man." He was so mad. Like he came at me all like rude and everything. I'm like, "Did you just get cash back?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got cash back."
Oh my god!
I started dying. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." I was like, "Yeah, it's all right, bro." Like, I thought it was funny.
That was smart of you to think of that while someone's yelling at you.
I mean, just because we've never had that happen before, so it's like, yeah. I doubt it's a system issue. It's probably you just got cash back.
I would have thought like this dude's just lying.
Nah, I mean, maybe that's true.
See, I'm in like a New York state of mind where I just think people are assholes, and you're like, Callie, nah, dude's serious. That dude's for real.
We wouldn't have been able to do anything about it really anyway. So I was like, well, did you get cash back? And he's like, oh, yeah.
That's funny.
That's all I got though.
All right, so should we move into music? Where are we at time wise? I never know.
Let me check. We can talk a little bit about Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Sorry, that's mine.
My timer stopped timing, so I don't know.
Cool. We never know what time it is. All right, yeah, let's talk about Valentine's Day, and then we'll go into music. There's a lot of hot topics right now, actually, which is funny. Maybe we can touch on some of those next week, but
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that's crazy. So Valentine's Day, let's keep it light. What type of gift giver are you? Is this a big deal for you? Do you not care? Do you hate it? Are you anti-Valentine's?
I'm not anti-Valentine. I mean, if I didn't have a girlfriend, I'd probably be anti-Valentine. Just out of spite. I hate it. No, I mean, I don't think it should be a big gift day. I think it should be something light. Go out to eat, just spend time together. I don't think it should be like a really fancy gift, especially since Christmas was like a month ago. So no, I think it's light gifts, candy, maybe like some stocking stuffers, stuff you would get for stocking stuffers and Christmas, yeah. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know like some people are really into like the diamond earrings and neck
that's Christmas
and things.
That's Christmas.
I'm like maybe there's a time and place for that, or like really special years or something.
Maybe like when you get married or something like yeah.
But for the most part, I've never been a huge Valentine's person. Like, sure, candy. I love candy, little things. Or, like, really for me, like you said, spending time together is the biggest thing.
It's for the females, Like, some girls really like it and some don't. And guys don't really care that much. It's not like, oh, I can't wait for Valentine's Day. I mean, maybe there's probably some guys.
I get to say how I feel.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big feelings person, so it's hard for me.
I love you so much.
But yeah, no, Valentine's Day. I don't know. Go to a nice dinner. Oh, it's COVID, so it's hard. Maybe cook at home too. That's an option.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to dinner with my lady.
Yeah, boo. I'm also going to dinner.
LA just opened back up, so I mean, we're gonna go hopefully somewhere decent and have a nice have a nice dinner, and then maybe go to the drive-in.
Oh yeah, because you guys can do stuff outside because it's not 20 degrees.
Well, it's a little chilly, it gets down to about 50.
We've had snow, like crazy snow.
I know.
We had snowstorm last week. Couldn't even get into work. We had snow this week. It's gonna snow next week. Snow on snow.
Snow on top of snow on top of snow.
It's great because of snowboarding, but like, it's freaking cold.
Yeah, after a while, like I have had people here tell me like, oh, I want to move to the East Coast or somewhere where it snows all the time. Like I love snow. I'm like, you like snow for like a weekend. You get to go back to Cali and a nice. I'm like, you don't like snow. Like snow's not fun when it gets all muddy and it's dirty everywhere.
And now it's just gray outside and white. It's like I'm living in a black and white movie.
Yeah, it's cool
in the winter here.
It's cool when it first snows, the first couple snows, like the first day. Cool. And then after that, it just turns into a shit show. So.
Did you see my Instagram story where it was really pretty, and I did a slow mo of like the snow, and then did you hear the song that I put on there? It was so funny. No, it's like it's snowing.
Oh yeah.
It's like it has for a million years. Like that's because all these girls are like, oh my god, snow, and then I found that song and I was like, that's hilarious.
I can't believe it's an actual song.
I don't think it is. I think it's a clip because I don't think I can find it anywhere.
Oh, shit.
Like, it didn't have any more lyrics than that. It's just like, it's snowing. Anyway, all right, moving on. Let's see.
Music time.
Okay, so I got some stuff. You gave me Jack Harlow. And he's new on the scene. So Jack Harlow was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he he is the son of a businesswoman, and he was raised on a horse farm.
I didn't know that.
And he began rapping at age 12. And I guess he's done this with a group of friends. It's like their whole gang kind of became, started getting famous together. And I guess they used a Guitar Hero microphone and a laptop to record rhythms and songs when they first started.
Rhymes
so that
and
was
songs.
Cool.
He said rhythms and songs.
Oh. I'm glad you're reading mine. Listen, the laptop is far away. I have really bad eyesight. Rhythms and songs.
Rhythms and songs.
You can record rhythms and anyway. So they made the first CD entitled "Rippin' and Rappin'," and they sold copies at their high school. And this was Highland Middle School. And when he was in 7th grade, he acquired a professional microphone, and he made his first mixtape called Extra Credit, this is all very cute. Like it's cool how it kind of came up.
Yeah.
And so they formed a collective with various friends. Like I said, Moose Gang was their collective. Like this kid is cracking me up. This kid's funny. And then he worked on 2 mixtapes. They were never released. Moose Gang and Music for the Deaf. I don't know. And the other thing I wanted to say is that, well, I guess I'll talk about the music and then I'll talk about the other thing I found. But so to me, it's a very easy listen to his rap. Not all rap is easy to listen to sometimes, but I've put that his lyrics are like butter because it's such a good flow. And I know that's really corny and cliche. Don't laugh at me.
That's the whitest thing I've ever heard.
So, I'm just saying that it's smooth. Can you accept that?
Butter me up on a roll.
And I'm trying to describe it for the listeners. Like, if you haven't listened to him, you should. He's great. And it feels like he's having a conversation with you when he raps. So his songs are all stories, and there's a quote from him that he wanted his songs to be like short films. And I think they are. They all tell a story. Apparently they're all truthful. And I would say that the music is very like playful and a lot of cool like flute sounds and piano sounds, like really different sounds, like classical sounds are in his raps.
Yeah.
But they're also like very emotional if you listen to the lyrics. Like it's kind of like fun. You're like, "Oh, it's a happy song." And then you're like, "Oh no, he's like kind of sad." Like
Mac, almost like Mac Miller a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he's like an upbeat Mac Miller.
Yeah.
And so this I thought was cool. He's only 22 years old, by the way. He started very young. But he talks about West Virginia in one of his songs, so I was like trying to figure out what his tie was to West Virginia.
Yeah.
And so he went to a strip club there, I guess, and was like a VIP customer. And at a club he met a bottle girl who stopped him cold. And then it says, if you were unaware that West Virginia had bottle girls, so was Harlow.
He must have been at the university.
That's what I was thinking.
I think I remember actually him being there. Like I remember seeing like a sign or something like Jack Harlow, and I'm like, who the fuck is Jack Harlow back then?
But yeah, apparently this bottle girl has been on his mind ever since, and that's part of the lyrics in that 21C Delta Girl song.
Yeah, I remember that lyric.
He's singing about her. So that's one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, that's a really good song.
It's a great song. The other one I like is the Tyler Hero song. And I also like the last song on the album, and I just can't think. I'm looking for the name of it now.
So you listen to the whole album?
Yes. Not like all the way through. Baxter Avenue, not the last song.
Oh yeah, that's a really good song.
Baxter Avenue is really like a story.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people listen to it, but it's also at the end of the album. A lot of people probably don't know it because I've heard a lot of the songs kind of just played radio and whatnot. Yeah. But yeah, so that's my review. He has a really cool story. Seems like a really genuine person.
Nice. Well, I do not have as much information on the band Camino. Not because I didn't try. I actually did do my research, and there's not much about the band Camino. All right, so the band Camino is from Memphis. It's uplifting indie rock and lush romantic electropop. That's what they are. Their genre, I guess, is. Let's see. Friends since their high school days. Jeffrey Jordan, vocals and guitar. Spencer Stewart, vocals and guitar. Graham Rowell, bass. And Andrew Isbell, drums, formed the band Camino in 2005 while attending the University of Memphis. Influence from The Killers, Walk the Moon, and Colony House. I only know Killers and Colony House. I don't think I've ever heard of Walk the Moon.
I've heard of Walk the Moon, yeah. I've never heard of Colony House.
They put out a few EPs and they were signed, and their latest full-length project was Try Hard in 2019. I think that was their latest. That was their debut on the label. And that's really all there is. There's not much more. I mean, I looked on Wiki, I looked on different music sites. There's not much about them. But I think a lot of people have heard of them. They've had a couple of good hit songs, and I would give them 7.5, 8 out of 10. It's a really good listen. It's a fun listen. It's good vibes. I really liked the Chelsea Cutler song. It's Roses, I believe it's called, with Chelsea Cutler. I could be wrong. It's the latest one they dropped with her. So that's a really good song. Really emotional. Very very good listen. Like I said, definitely worth the listen. I think most people will enjoy them. It's very, very good music. It's not like crazy anything, other than romantic electro pop. But yeah.
I love that's how they describe it. Electro pop. What a cool genre.
I like that, romantic electro pop. Yeah, go listen to the band Camino. Most of their music is pretty good, and it's a solid listen. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10.
Nice.
That's
all right,
it,
well, that's all we got.
Hopefully the video is on, because it's bothering me the whole time while I was trying to do the music segment. I'm looking at myself like real behind. So
it's been on. I think it was off only one time. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties on the pod today. So
yeah, hopefully it's all good. If not, you'll it'll be weird, but the video might be a little messed up. Yeah, that's all we got. We'll be back next week. No football, unfortunately.
No football.
We're gonna
more science.
More science. Maybe a
hot
little more
topics.
music, hot topics, Twitter trends. If you have anything you want us to talk about, oh yeah, we should have talked about the one thing Mom told us to talk about. We'll save that for next week.
Next week. I figured after sports are done, that's something we can talk about.
We'll talk basketball. We'll talk baseball when that starts to heat up. Other than that, so we got. Hope you enjoy the Super Bowl. Hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. We will see you next week. It's been real. It's been fun. Hasn't been a real fun. Peace.
Peace.
You gotta be, you gotta be, you gotta be, you gotta be, you gotta be,